Trust is at the heart of every convergence dialogue, and our trust building depends on truth telling. Unfortunately, today, the truth keeps getting lost among lies, and so we are focusing on disinformation. Disinformation is high profile these days. Last month, Facebook's oversight board upheld Facebook's decision to ban Trump, but said Facebook had to set its duration. A few days ago, Facebook did. Meanwhile, the Aspen Institute launched a commission on what they call information disorder, with celebrities Katie Couric and Prince Harry joining experts. In Congress, it's part of the HR 1 debate. So I'll share more about these and other exciting goings on in our breakout session. Please join us. We'd love your thoughts on this wicked, complicated, but critically important issue.
Thanks, Vicki. Stuart, 30 seconds on care for older adults.
Caring for the elderly is a daunting issue, and for many of you, that's a personal daunting as well as a public national one. We have the number of people who will be 65 over the next 20 years will double. Most people who are 65 today will live into their 90s. So how are we going to organize and pay for the needs of these people, these older people? As David mentioned, we've held already some smaller short dialogues to look at some of these issues. And the Hartford Foundation invited us to submit a proposal for a major grant to actually launch a whole project on bringing together the various interest groups and stakeholders to really tackle this issue. And just to end on a note of high drama, the Hartford Foundation this afternoon has its board meeting where it will be deciding one way or the other whether to actually give us the full funding we need for this project. We're very cautiously optimistic, but Doozy and I have both got no fingernails left because we're waiting for this call.
Thank you, Stuart. That's great. Russell, 30 seconds on guns and suicide prevention.
Sure. So more context in the small group for those who are interested to set the stage. But basically, I think as this group knows, we are well into a dialogue now. We have a group of stakeholder participants who are participating in a dialogue on preventing firearm suicide. And the strategic question we're going to lift up to you in the discussion is, how can our group really effectively break through and lift up solutions that would prevent firearm suicide when there are so many other parts of the gun debate in America that we're not focusing on? So there's an opportunity here and there's a challenge, as most gun deaths actually are suicide deaths. But that is sort of an under-discussed topic in the broader public and among policymakers. And so we want to think strategically and get your input on how to do that effectively as our dialogue with this really impressive and diverse group comes down to kind of the home stretch here. So looking forward to chatting with folks that want to join.
Thanks so much, Russell. And David, over to you for 30 seconds on civil service reform.
Thank you. So as I noted, civil service is one of the core institutions that we think of when we think of building trust back in our democratic institutions. It's a huge workforce and it hasn't been fully upgraded in over 40 years. The key challenge is it's not at the top of anyone's agenda. And what we're going to talk about is how do we get it higher on people's agenda so that it's one of the things they want to get done.